You wake up Monday morning, the alarm goes off, and before you even open your eyes, you already feel it. That weight, that heaviness sitting right on your chest, not because you're sick, not because something terrible happened, but because you already know exactly how the next 16 hours are going to go. You're going to trade your time, again, for money, again. And no matter how hard you work today, tomorrow it starts all over. That feeling you just felt reading that's not weakness, that's clarity. And if you've been feeling that for a while now, stay with me, because what I'm about to share with you is going to change the way you see money forever. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. The traditional model of earning money is broken. Not just inconvenient. Broken. You work, you get paid. You stop working, the money stops. Every single dollar you earn is directly attached to an hour of your life that you can never get back. And the brutal part? You can only work so many hours. There is a ceiling, a hard physical, biological ceiling. And no matter how talented you are, no matter how disciplined you are, you will eventually hit it. Now, before we go any deeper, I want you to know there is a program linked in the description of this video. People who are serious about building real income streams that don't require them to constantly show up are already inside. I'm only mentioning it once, right now, because I want to give you real value first. If you're not ready for it, that's completely fine. But if what I'm about to share starts clicking for you, that link will be waiting. Now let me paint you a picture of something real. Imagine two people. Same starting point, same background, same hustle. One of them spends the next 10 years climbing the ladder, getting raises, working weekends, grinding through lunch breaks, missing dinners, skipping vacations, all to build someone else's dream. The other one spends those same 10 years quietly building assets, things that earn money while they sleep, while they're at their kid's soccer game, while they're sitting in traffic, while they're watching a movie on a Tuesday afternoon. 10 years later, the first person is exhausted and starting over after a layoff. The second person, their income didn't stop when they stopped working, because they stopped trading time for money a long time ago. That second person exists, many of them do. And the difference between them and the first person isn't intelligence, it isn't luck, it isn't connections, it's a decision, one decision. To start building income that doesn't need them present to survive. So let's talk about what those assets actually are. And I mean really talk about it, simply, clearly, no financial jargon, no complicated theory. The first type of asset is content. This one is powerful and massively underestimated. When you create something once, a video, an article, a guide, a course, and it continues to be discovered by new people month after month, year after year, that piece of content earns you attention and income without you doing anything additional. 1 hour of creation can turn into thousands of hours of reach. That's leverage. That's what wealthy people understand that most people don't. The second type of asset is digital products. Think about this. You create something once, an ebook, a template, a piece of software, a guide, a toolkit. You sell it 500 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times. You did the work once. The product doesn't take breaks. It doesn't call in sick. It doesn't ask for a raise. It just sells over and over while you live your life. The third type of asset is systems and automations. This one sounds technical, but it isn't. A system is just a process that runs without you needing to manage it every minute. When your business, your brand, your income stream runs on autopilot, you stop being the engine and start being the architect. And architects get paid for what they build, not just for the hours they show up. The fourth type is equity and ownership. When you own a piece of something that grows in value, you're building wealth even when you're asleep. Real estate, business equity, platforms, brands. These things compound over time. Your time doesn't compound, it just disappears. But ownership does compound. And that difference is staggering when you stretch it out over years. Now let me stop right here because I need to be real with you about something. A lot of people hear this and think, that's not for me. I'm not a tech person. I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't have money to invest. I don't have time to build anything. And here's what I want to say to that person directly. You, right now, watching this, I understand. I genuinely understand that feeling of looking at your life and thinking the math doesn't work. You're already exhausted. You're already stretched thin. And someone telling you to go build passive income feels like being told to add more to an already overflowing plate. But here's the reframe. You're not being asked to add more. You're being asked to redirect. Instead of pouring your energy into something that only pays you once, you start pointing some of that same energy towards something that keeps paying you. The shift is not about working more. It's about working differently. And yes, there is a cost of inaction here that I need to name out loud. Because this is where people stay stuck. They understand the concept, they feel the pull, and then they go back to their routine because nothing forced them to change. Let me force you to think about something for just a second. 5 years from now, if nothing changes, If you keep trading the same hours for the same paycheck, where are you? Seriously. Walk through that in your mind. The same alarm, the same commute, the same Sunday dread, the same financial stress, the same conversations with your partner about money, the same quiet wondering if this is really all there is. 5 years of your life just traded. Now walk through the other version. 5 years from now, you made the decision to start building real assets. You had hard moments. There were weeks where it felt slow, but you kept building. And now you wake up on a Monday and check your phone and see that income came in while you were sleeping. You have options. You can work, but you don't have to. You can take a week off without the math falling apart. You can breathe. Actually breathe. That second version isn't a fantasy, but it does require a decision. And decisions made on a random Tuesday when nobody's watching, those are the ones that change everything. Here's something that very few people talk about honestly. The people who have built real asset-based income will tell you that the hardest part wasn't the learning. It wasn't even the work. It was unlearning. Unlearning the idea that income has to hurt to be real. Unlearning the belief that if you're not grinding, you're not earning. Unlearning the fear that something passive is somehow less legitimate than something you suffered for. That mental shift is where the real transformation lives. The most successful people in the world don't get paid for their time. They get paid for the value their assets create. That's not a motivational poster. That's just factually how wealth accumulates. And the data is clear on this. The wealthiest individuals on earth hold assets. They hold ownership. They hold equity. They hold systems. They do not have more hours in the day than you. They just stopped trading those hours for linear income a long time ago. Now here's something I want to plant in your mind, and I want you to really sit with this. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be is not a gap in talent. It's a gap in model. The model of trading time for money versus building assets that earn independently. That's it. That's the whole gap. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Think about every hour you've worked this week. Every single one. Now ask yourself honestly, if you stopped working tomorrow, how long would that money last? For most people, the answer is terrifying. A few weeks, maybe a month, and then it stops. All of it stops. That is the fragility of income that requires your presence. That's the trap that most people never examine because they're too busy staying inside it. Now contrast that with someone who spent the last 2 years building real assets. Their digital product is selling in real time right now. Their content is being discovered by new people all over the world as we speak. Their systems are running, their equity is growing. Whether they're awake or asleep, present or on vacation, healthy or sick, the income doesn't care, it just keeps moving. That's not luck, that's architecture. And the beautiful thing about the world we live in today is that the barriers to building these kinds of assets have never been lower. You don't need a warehouse, you don't need a storefront, you don't need a massive upfront investment. You need knowledge, you need strategy, and you need to take the first real step instead of just feeling inspired and then going back to the same routine. Which brings me back to what I mentioned at the very start, because now you've heard the whole picture. You've felt it, you've seen the contrast, and something in you knows that the current model you're living isn't sustainable. Something in you already knew that before you even started watching this. The program linked in the description of this video is for the person who is done just understanding this concept and is ready to actually execute it. Not dabble, not explore, execute. People who are exactly where you are right now, stuck in the time for money trap, overwhelmed, unsure where to start, went through what's inside that program and built real income streams. Real assets, real freedom. Not someday. Starting now. If you're the kind of person who's going to bookmark this video, feel great for 20 minutes and then go back to the exact same routine, honestly, don't click the link. It's not for someone coasting. But if something clicked for you today, if there was even one moment watching this where you thought, I need to actually do something different, then that link is the most important thing you'll look at today. The cost of not clicking it is 5 more years of the same alarm, the same grind, the same ceiling, and you know it.